Hey everybody, happy Friday. Welcome to DVTV in Space for Friday, August the 11th, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
I almost said 4th. August the 11th. I'm behind a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit today about a lot of different stuff, but we're going to start out talking about the gay agenda, which is our calendar. So there's one thing that starts tonight at about 6 o'clock. It's at Cathedral of Hope, and it's called, I don't know what it's called, but it's a 24-hour.
That's a Sing for Dignity.
I know.
Is it the Sing for Dignity?
Is it called Sing for Dignity?
The Turtle Creek Corral.
Yeah, it's a 24-hour marathon sing-along concert. And just found out just before I left to come up here that the trans chorus of LA is flying in to participate in this. So they're going to
Are they really?
They're going to be
I
singing
didn't even
with
know
them.
one existed. What is
Yes,
that?
it's a trans chorus in LA.
Female, male,
yeah.
anybody?
Yeah, it's trans people.
So they're going to be there it's at the Interfaith Peace Chapel. It's going to start at 6 p.m. So they're literally going to be singing for 24 hours.
Yeah, they're going to have, I think it's going to start out with like a concert kind of thing, and then it kind of, okay, well, we've done the concert, we're going to just kind of sing, and maybe you can get up and sing with us. There might be a little karaoke thrown in there. I mean, it's 24 hours.
There's a reason why I lip sync a lot.
There you go.
There's a reason why we all lip sync a lot.
This is not a singing voice, okay?
Which reminds me, I forgot to introduce our panel.
We just went right in.
I know, we just jumped in. It's like swimming,
the
just
gas.
right into
Yeah.
the deep end. But this is Israel Luna.
Hi.
And we have Chaislin Wade is her first
how are you? It's my
time
first time
here.
you guys.
Yay.
I did do the
version.
DVTV segments.
The segments.
Yes,
So,
you
yeah,
have, didn't you?
it's
All
been
right.
a
Well,
long
this is your
time,
first
yeah.
time at DVTV.
Yes.
We still do the segments too.
Yes.
And of course, Brandy Amaris Guy, and I'm Tammy Nash. So there we are. But now let's go back to our agenda. So, like I said, the sing along is tonight. That's a really good. It's for a really good cause because the Turtle Creek Corral wanted to do something to help raise awareness for on transgender issues. Transgender people are under a lot of fire right now. So.
And
At all levels.
so can
I
people
know.
go?
Y'all can leave, baby.
I'm trying to hide here.
So can people go in and out? Like as
I would
they
imagine you
Yeah. So
could.
you don't have to stay for the full 24 hours. I wouldn't think, but
I don't think they're going to require that.
It would be awesome if you did, but I'm sure you can go like in
Wear
and
your
out.
pajamas.
Wear your pajamas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you bring wine?
I don't know. It's a church.
Oh.
But, it's
Well,
a church
don't
where they probably
churches-
drink wine.
I was going to say,
It's
do
a
they
gay
have
church.
ri-
Turn water into wine.
If you want to
There you
bring
go.
wine, email them first.
Yeah, ask. Or leave it in the car. Wear your pajamas out to the car.
Or just carry a flask.
Yeah.
Don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble. Interfaith Peace Chapel is at Cathedral of Hope, which is, I think, 5910 Cedar Springs Road.
That is correct.
Okay. I've been writing that a long time. I should remember. Okay. That's one of the things that's going on this weekend. Again, it's called Sing for Dignity. The Equality Texas Dallas Summer Mixer is from 6 to 8 today at IQ House, 1107 Dragon Street. I'm not familiar with that place. Lambda Legal's Landmark Dinner. That's kind of smaller version, maybe, of the Black Tie Dinner, where they raise money for Lambda Legal. And that's one of the things we'll be talking about a little later.
Yeah, because they're doing a lot of work right now.
They
They're working overtime.
They just sued the city of Houston over the benefits.
Right.
Yes.
Going back to that.
Yeah, so they're
thing.
working overtime.
Good.
So,
They
yeah.
got a lot of things going on.
Good, because that's just really ridiculous. They
Yeah.
are trying their darndest, right? To
There's-
just make us not equal to them.
Yep.
Yeah, and the thing is,
So
I think
sad.
we've talked about this on the show before. We got marriage equality where same-sex couples can get legally married, be legally recognized as married, and they're like, well, we lost that battle. Who can we go after? Oh yeah, the transgender people. They see the trans folks at the bottom of the totem
Well,
pole
we're such
there.
a small, non-important group of people.
Right. It's
That
easy to
don't-
go after.
yeah,
them,
yeah,
Right.
of
People
course.
don't understand. So, yeah. And pardon me for using you as an
you're
example, but it's one of the things we're dealing with right now is the whole bathroom bill. I'm sorry, I can't
By
think
the
of.
way, I just went and used the restroom here. Yeah.
See, there we go. And I can't think
in
of
the
very
ladies'
many.
room.
How?
And guess what? The building is still standing.
I know.
The
No
world didn't
lightning.
stop.
No lightning. Nothing.
No lightning. No.
See?
Although I have to say to all the ladies out there, Chaselin would be more than happy to share a
Oh,
bathroom
yeah.
with your man.
Yeah.
Now that's what I was going to say. How many straight women do you know want their man?
Yeah.
with Chaselin in the bathroom with their man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You
So-
tell me. I mean, it's just as a transgender individual, it is the craziest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But you know, what's so funny is I can remember years ago, before I transitioned and would just go out and drag, in Lexington, Kentucky, even the gay bars wouldn't let trans girls or drag queens go into the girls' restroom.
In the girls' restroom?
In a gay bar?
In a gay bar.
Well, we've had that history here. There have been
Yeah.
bars that have refused to let the drag queens
Yeah.
come in.
I think we talked about the
Yeah,
infighting in our
the infighting
community.
and everything,
We
and
talked about that
even
last
some of
weekend.
those, gay bars don't have a female bathroom, and so like it's
Yeah.
still there is a lot of infighting that's happening.
Yeah.
Then and way back, where you had to have the closed-toed shoes and 5 kinds of ID to get in and all that.
Well, and what's interesting is even in San Francisco, about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, the last, I guess unofficial or official lesbian bar closed down. They don't
Did
even
they
have a
really?
lesbian bar in the entire, the gay mecca of the United States,
Wow.
San
Yeah.
Francisco, and there's no lesbian bar.
Yeah, and really,
that
we
weird?
only have one real lesbian bar here in Dallas left, and
We
that's
used to have
in Sue
several.
Ellen's. Yeah, we used to have Best Friends, Buddies,
Jugs.
Jugs. That was Best Friends.
That
is,
was Tammy's,
the
yeah.
other.
But
Jugs was the-
I have a question for
Yeah.
you guys. Do you think that that's because of being more inclusive with other communities and not being so segregated
Like
from each other?
gentrification sort of
Yeah,
thing?
I mean, do you think that it's more acceptable for lesbians to go to the gay bars and the gay guys to go to the lesbian bars, and then the country western go to the Havana, and Havana go is it just more of a melting pot now? I hate that term. More of like a salad. I like to say
I
salad.
like salad. That's a
I like
good one.
salad better than melting pot. But
Okay.
Yeah.
is it just more of a salad of people? So there's not a need for a
don't know.
specific. I mean, of course, there's always going to be a need for specific areas like that for people who may not want to go to other places.
I know for me personally, I prefer to hang out at gay male bars. Like I identify more as a gay male than I do a lesbian, but that's me personally. And I know my wife is the exact same way. She works at JR's, which is a gay male bar. But I also think from what I've heard, and I've talked to a lot of lesbians, there's this, lesbians are different in the sense that they like to stay home a whole lot. So a lot of the people that I've talked to about, why don't our clubs, as far as lesbians, why don't they stick around as long as like JR's or Woody's or all these things? And they're saying is because they don't go out as much. It's kind of like the same argument of why we don't have like a Grinder or some kind of Scruff or something like some kind of sexual app. And they're saying because women are different, but I don't necessarily think that that's true, but I think the majority are. So
There is, our bars did stick around for a long time. For a period of time, Jugs was the longest operating lesbian bar in the country.
was it really?
Yes, it was for a while. And then Joe Elliott died, and Howard took over and kept it alive as Joe's place as part of the Brick in memory of Joe Elliott. But Jugs was like one of the longest. And then after Jugs closed, Buddies became that.
Yeah.
Our bars were
I came around when Buddies was here.
And there was
It was a
Buddies
lot.
2.
There was
as
about
well.
Buddies too, but that was more about changing a location.
Okay.
Because it was the same owner all the way through. Buddies was owned by Sandy Myers from the time she opened it until she died, and when she passed away, her wife Dawn inherited it, and then Dawn was I think moving back. I think Florida is where she I can't remember where she moved to, but she was moving to take care of her mom.
Well,
so.
I think to answer your question, this is kind of what I think is there were a few smaller lesbian bars, and then there was Sue Ellen's, and then maybe for whatever reasons, maybe management or people weren't going to these, that everyone knows of Sue Ellen's, and the more that these are unpredictable as far as when they're going to close, people count on the
became
one
the staple.
it became the staple, and they know this one's going to
And it's a
remain
beautiful
open.
bar, and it's
Yeah.
huge. And I mean,
I don't know, but I don't
great
know.
bar.
I'm not a lesbian.
But I think Tammy brought up a good point too. I think that the owner died, and so like a part of that history that needed that place and that needed to see other gay women out died with that as well. And so we're seeing that kind of with BJ's, but that's the whole gentrification thing that's happening.
Yeah,
with
that's
BJ's,
different.
it's different. But I think that things change when you have somebody as profound that, you know, started buddies die. Like you can't pass on that need and that desire to keep something, to keep the
That
fire
passion.
burning, that passion if it wasn't
Sandy
you.
Myers used to say that as long as there's somebody out there that needs a place to go, this bar will be open.
See, there, yeah.
And-
And you, that's something you can't
And when
transfer
she
to
passed
somebody
away,
else.
there
Yeah.
was, you know, there was a, plus you guys remember we went through a recession. Okay. And we were having, I can't
We still
see
got a
it.
couple of minutes.
Okay, because I can't see it very well.
Oh,
But,
It's the lighting.
yeah, but we went through a recession, and women in general do not have the same amount of disposable income that men do. Okay, that's, you know, if you're part of a heterosexual marriage that involves children, and you split up, and the woman may be lesbian, and that may be why they split up, or for whatever reason, those kids usually go with mom, right? All right. When
That too.
my partner and I, we raised 2 kids.
Yeah.
And besides, beyond not having the disposable income, maybe because you got to care for those kids, you got boys can eat a lot,
Israel?
and
oh, you mean
But-
food?
Yeah.
but there's also the who's going to watch my kids. You know, I'm not going to leave my 9-year-old kid at home while I go drinking.
Right,
you
yeah,
know?
time.
Are you
is-
kidding? We're Mexican. We leave kids wherever. We just leave them on their own.
Yeah, they're
We
like,
go out
"Bye."
anyway. Bye. See ya. I know you're 3, but who cares?
Ricardo says, where can a 50-plus gay male go? That's coming over on our Facebook. Depends on what you want.
Yeah.
Ricardo, I think, you know, are you looking for a disco kind of dance?
Or a little
Thing,
bit of
or you
leather,
Go without the
grungy.
show atmosphere.
Without the show.
Oh,
Okay,
without the
where can you go without the show atmosphere?
Well, girl, if you go into any gay bar, you're going to get a show.
show.
Yeah,
somewhere.
you're gonna get a show whether it's
drag
on
queens,
stage or
I'm
not.
on stage or not.
Yeah.
You get a
True.
show.
I would vote on like something like the Eagle,
I was thinking the hidden
TMC.
door.
the Hidden Door.
I love the
Oh,
hidden door.
I like the hidden
I like the
door.
hidden door a lot.
They have
that
great
one.
beer specials.
Yeah.
you know, they used to have a laundry mat in there.
Oh, that's fun.
They used
Did
to
they
have-
really?
Yeah, back in the day they had washer
TMC
dryers.
as well.
TMC.
Yeah.
There's one, and this
The
is a
Roundup.
the
They do
Roundup,
have pageants and stuff there, but not
Yeah.
on a regular
Not on all the
basis.
time.
Yeah, it's not the
But then
regular
there's
thing.
one down in Bishop Arts. It's very quiet. Barber's Pavilion. It's just go sit around, chat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, I've had a great time down there a couple of times, you know, and so
Yeah, I would
it
check out
depends
the
on what
hidden
you're
door.
looking
I
for,
like the
Ricardo.
hidden
Thank
door
you
a lot.
for sending us a message, but you know, there's also things beyond the bars that you can do. We have a directory online of different organizations. There's actually an organization for gay men over 50. It's called Prime Timers, and they have a lot of social activities. So
Nice.
look them up; they're out there. So
Yeah,
it's
we already
beeping
ran
at me.
out
We
of
got to
time.
go. I'm already out of time. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. During the break, don't go anywhere. Watch what's coming up. You're going to get a sneak peek at Israel Luna's new film that's about to come out, Kicking Zombie Ass for Jesus. Israel Luna's film with Chaselyn Wade as one of the
Yes.
stars. So watch the preview here. We're going to talk about it when we come back.
Yay.
Nice. Oh, y'all can hear it.
Get back! Don't shoot! I'll blow both of your heads off. Get back! Please, we're just looking for food. Well, I suggest you look elsewhere. Everything here is ours, and we don't have anything to spare.
You better head out soon, because they're heading this way, mister. A lot of them.
We've done fine so far.
So far. Trust us.
We started out as 8.
Could you please stop pointing the gun at us?
Where are they?
About a mile, maybe 2.
Maybe we should go.
Honey, hold on a second. Maybe these two just want our stuff. take our shelter for themselves.
We had shelter. We were quiet and we were fine, but they want to feed. It's like dogs, they can smell you. They can smell meat. We ran into some others and took them in as well, but they found us. They're slow, but they're strong when they group together. We ran out the back and got away. Now we've come here. We didn't know it was occupied.
Well, it is. So now what?
We're gonna keep moving, I guess. I suggest you do the same.
Give him some more.
Thanks.
I knew that was Adam Zombie. I saw his picture.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, that's right, on
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's him.
Well,
Adam
that's one of the ones you sent
Kitchen.
me. So, that's cool.
We're on the air, right?
Yeah, we're back on.
Are we back on?
That was the break. That was the
I
break.
was like, Tammy took off her headphones. I was like, wait a minute, we're back on the air.
You didn't point it.
Blame it on Rufus. It's all your
Yeah,
fault.
yeah,
Nathan.
Nathan messed me up, man. That's what I get for calling him Nathan.
Right.
Sorry, y'all. We're back on the air. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. Tell us a little bit about this. Tell us the setup for the movie.
Yes. So it's pretty much a zombie apocalypse has hit a small Texas town, and the survivors have all found an abandoned building, and they've all barricaded themselves in there. And as they're all running in there and close the doors and lock them to escape the zombies, then they realize, oh, half of the people inside are Bible thumpers, and the other half are a part of the rainbow community. So it's like, now what?
Rainbow community.
Yeah, thank you.
Slipped that right in there,
Uh-huh.
didn't he?
So it's like, what do they do? Do they fight, join
together,
forces
yeah.
to help kill these zombies, or are they going to battle against themselves and then get
Throw
eaten
each
up?
other to the wolves.
Or throw each other
Yeah.
to
And
the
they let their
wolves?
differences be bygones, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the purpose for making this film was because, to me, the zombies represent life. All of the struggles that we have in life, and here we are. All we're trying to do is to survive. We are all the same, and that's pretty much the simple message of the film. It's just disguised as a crazy, gory, funny zombie film.
Controversial.
Yeah,
Controversial.
name.
Controversial.
with a
film.
crazy name. Yeah.
Yeah, kicking zombie ass for Jesus. Let's talk about that. The
Yes.
name itself and what that's already done for you.
Yeah. Well, because right.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing was I couldn't just have a normal title, like The
No.
Apocalypse or something. Because
Yeah.
I mean, I have movies like Five Guys in a Sex Party, Ticked Off Trannies with Knives, and so this one, I thought, okay, it has to be a little outrageous and a little grindhousey because they were always
Yeah.
like extreme and aggressive. And so I thought, you know what? I want a movie where I already knew the subject matter. I thought, okay, I want to do this in a zombie film, and I thought, well, what if we're kicking zombie ass, but we're doing it for a good cause. We're doing it for Jesus. And in the original script, Willem Belli's character, Beth Ann Fetterman, her husband's name is Jesus. And so she would be fighting for him.
Okay.
But because of editing, you know how that goes when you're trying to trim down a movie, you have to cut certain things. And so, but we kept the title because it's catchy and I like it.
Yeah. And it makes sense because one side is kicking zombie ass for Jesus.
For Jesus.
So,
Yeah. And they do still mention it in the film that the title does come up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, now you filmed this. What? This has been a couple of years ago. There's been a
would say about
process.
3 years ago? 2 years ago?
Oh,
3 years ago.
yeah, at least 3 years, if not.
I was
more.
thinking it's been a little
been a
bit since
while.
you filmed it
Yes.
because there was some stuff going on back and forth. And now you've gotten to the point of finishing it up, editing and
Yes.
putting it on screen. But you filmed in Graham, Texas, right?
Yeah, we shot in a few small towns. Graham is probably the biggest town of the ones where we shot that would be recognizable. We shot in Graham, Texas, Eliasville, McGargle, Texas.
McGargle. I love that.
McGargle. Yeah.
McGargle.
We used a convenience store, which is pretty much most of the town.
Yeah.
But McGargle has been very kind to us. All of those surrounding towns, like Olney, Texas, which is where my mom lives, my brothers and sisters, all my siblings, and tons of cousins. We've shot my movie The Deadbeat Club there. We shot my movie Fright Flick and Runaway Bay. So we've always stayed around
That
that
area.
area because we've always had so much help
Support from the community,
Sup-
actually.
until this movie.
Until this movie. So
Yeah.
you were telling me about it. We did a blog. It's not in the paper this week, but
We have
he sent me
photos.
the.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll
The
show you
article.
some of the photos here. Israel sent me a message earlier today telling me he'd gotten an email. They had wanted to screen the movie. You wanted to screen the movie in Graham at the drive-in there, which would have been a perfect,
Right.
a
It's a
drive-in
drive-in
movie.
kind of
It's a
movie.
drive-in kind of movie.
Yeah.
And you had thought maybe these folks were gonna, because they were kind of kind to you guys when you were there, helpful.
Yes.
But then you got the email back, and
Yeah, they pretty much said that because they are a strong Baptist community, that the movie would not be something that they don't think anyone would be interested in, and even the title itself would be offensive to some people. And they said, "Good luck with your film, but you can't. We're not going to screen it."
here.
So was it the person who sent the letter? Was it from the movie theater, or was it a city official, or
from the movie theater?
actual theater?
The actual
The theater owners.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you could go rogue technically and bring a projector and go someplace. And
Correct.
actually, okay, got
Correct.
it.
Now-
But the theater that
you could go
wanted-
rogue and go to jail, but
Right. Well, I mean, but
suffer for your art.
with this drive-in, it was a big deal in Graham because they did a crowdfunding thing to raise money to reopen this theater. And it
so
wasn't
there's
until we were
history.
already shooting the film that my family said, "Now you know that they're kind of religious, they're big churchy people." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's good to know." But these people had already reached out to help us because they just knew it was a zombie film. The more we were there on location shooting, I think the more they got wind. And of course, the people who ran the hotel where we stayed were super awesome, because the moment we got there, the woman at the front desk, she's like, "Hey, by the way, I'm family, tattoos and everything." This
Yeah, I
woman,
love
we're like,
that.
"Oh, hell yeah, we're gonna get along." So she updated us daily while we were shooting, and she said, "Well, the rumor around Graham is that you guys are shooting a movie where drag queens and gay people fight against God." And I was like,
Of course, that's the way that they would
Of
see it
course.
and frame it.
yeah. And so next thing you know, a lot of these students from the school that were going to be extras as zombies, they wouldn't show up.
Did they really pull out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we were eating at a restaurant, and we saw a lot of kids because it was during their lunchtime, and we said, "Hey, what's going on?" And one of them said, one of the teachers at school told us to not associate with you guys and to not help on y'all's film. And we're like, "Whoa, okay."
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and this, like you said, it's been a couple of years since you've been out there, but, not that long ago. So, again,
But apparently, it's still a subject. It's still a touchy subject matter because give or take 3 years, like it's coming out. You wanted to show it there, and the subject matter is still very pertinent and
Probably more so.
probably
Right
yeah,
now,
exactly,
yeah.
probably more so now.
Very-
and so
very
it's
much
still
now.
like a relevant subject. So yeah.
Yeah, and the touchiest thing that happened, and I think I mentioned this to you this morning, Tammy, was Richard Curtin, who plays the preacher in the film.
He does an excellent job, by the way. I got to see a little sneak peek of that. and
Yeah,
he does
Yeah.
an excellent job. He's an ass,
Yeah,
which is that's his job.
yeah, he did a good
That's
job.
his
Yeah,
job.
but he was at a location, and one of the parents of one of the kids said, "Hey, are you with the movie? Are you one of the movie people?" And he said, "Yes." And he said, "My kid wants to be a zombie." And Richard said, "Oh yeah, we would love to have kids because we have a lot of adults being zombies. It would be cool to have kids as zombies." Well, next thing you know, he has some guy, the woman at the hotel showed us on Facebook. She said, "This is what this guy said." And he says, "Hi everyone, we ran into one of the movie people and of the gay film Against God, and they are," he said specifically that they were looking for children. That's all I'm saying. This is all in his post. And Richard was really upset.
Yeah, I'm sure, but that's what they do is they take your words and they reorganize them into something that suits their purpose. I mean,
Yeah. So I took a snapshot of that post, and I'm
use
looking
it in the
for
promotional material.
yeah, that's great
Right?
promotional.
But now we can
The
talk
film
about
that Graham doesn't want you to see.
Right. Yeah. Well, because they don't.
It is, yeah, it's
exactly.
true. Yeah.
one of the things that we talk about this and about all that that's happened to you guys, and the way you were treated out there when you were filming, and then the response you got today, we can apply that to just overall everything that's happening. From the White House on down. That we are under attack again, and our transgender people in our community are the ones on the front lines this time in terms of being attacked.
Yeah.
So,
And even if they had contacted me and said the title, because it has ass in it, and there's a lot of kids here. What if we just don't call it that and just call it something else, but we feel that this message of both of these communities coming together is a great one, screen it? Then I'd be like, you know what? I would do that for the grand
Kicking
screening.
zombies for Jesus.
For Jesus, something.
Yeah.
But they just flat out said no, and they made up their mind for everybody else. They didn't even give them a say in if they wanted to see the film or not.
Yeah.
You know, they're taking that choice away from these people.
And that happened to them. It's happened to you. It's happening to everybody right now.
And it reminds me of the last film that I did, Ticked Off Trannies with Knives, where a lot of people were saying that. They were saying this movie is offensive, and they're not even letting people watch the film for themselves. They were rooting
A lot
for us.
of them had not seen the film
Right.
themselves.
But I think that also we have a comment. But I also think that that's what Tammy and I have been discussing this and how like we as a queer and rainbow community need to toughen up a little bit. Like not everything is a trigger. Like before you use that word trigger and it loses its power and its meaning, you need to see for yourself, read for yourself if in fact it is triggering for you, instead of blanketing out on Facebook saying, hey, this and this, you've got to pay attention and see each individual thing.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we do have to realize that some people have things,
Completely,
PTSD kind of things.
Yeah.
What was
up, Shannon?
What was Jessica says society is at war with itself as much as with the rainbow community. I think that's what that's.
Yeah.
It's true
Yeah.
because
It's true.
and it comes down to the administration, because it's sort of okay to
Be
feel this
hateful.
way and to be hateful and to hide behind religion and God, to
And
hate
to
others,
provoke nuclear war. Apparently, that's okay too.
Yeah.
right?
So yeah, I mean, and it's kind of like, what does that time say there?
103.
103. Well, let's talk. We're going to continue this conversation some more, because that's one of the things that I want to talk about today is just where we stand in terms of the whole community, the community overall. I mean, we had I think we got a little soft. We made so much progress, and we're like, woohoo, we're all right. And then we just let's go back and party some more, and we forgot that it wasn't done.
But I also think that has to do a lot with the newer generation, because they haven't, they were under Obama. Like they grew up under Obama, and everything was pretty much like handed in a silver platter. They don't remember the Bush days, both. They don't remember the 80s.
Or
they don't
the
remember
other
Reagan.
Bush or the Reagan.
They don't remember any of that. And so I think it's now coming to fruition for them, and it's making it real for them. And they're like, oh shit, yeah, we still need to fight, which is what we've been trying to say from the get-go.
We never. Okay, let's go ahead. We got a few seconds left. Let's go ahead and go to a break. We'll be back in a minute. Okay. We are back. This time it's not me.
Choking myself by accident.
Please, you had your gag reflex removed
Yeah, well,
surgically.
I'm not really into that, but
Well, we were talking about just being at war, being under siege as a community, I think, and our whole country really is under siege. And I joked about nuclear war, but that's really not funny at all, y'all. And you know, they're playing who's got the biggest dick, and we're going to end up with nothing. All of us.
You know, Trevor Noah. He took over for Jon Stewart. He had this segment that he did to start off his show, and this was before the election happened. This was just while they were campaigning, and it was an apocalypse if he had been, if he had won as president, because we didn't know, know the results yet, and it was an apocalypse where all of these nuclear bombs had hit, and his studio is all messed up, and he's in it's like a bunker type of thing. And I thought, you know what? It's so funny because that's what it might turn
be the
into.
reality.
Yeah. But
Scary.
he doesn't care, because they always say the cockroaches are going to survive the apocalypse, right?
yeah.
I
Well,
thought-
Cockroaches and Cher.
yeah.
They say,
Yeah, he'll be in a bunker somewhere.
He'll be one of the
Safe.
cockroaches still
Yeah.
scuttling
Yeah.
around. So.
But I wanted to bring up something, Tammy, that you brought up right before you cut to break was, when you said how when something happens like marriage equality, and then we all as a community say, oh yeah, we don't, we're done. And then we get a little lazy. It seems like a pattern, because when you look at the 70s, when it was almost like the rainbow community, the porn community, the straight community, it was all like meshing together when they were having these really cool, like very sensual disco music coming out, and it was really meshing together. And then I don't know what happened, that it all just separated all of a sudden in the
HIV.
late 70s.
I was going to get ready to
HIV.
say AIDS.
Okay,
Yeah, HIV
got
and
it.
AIDS, the 80s happened.
Because
Yeah,
it seemed
and
like
that we
everything
started
was
a whole
working.
It
different-
became us and them.
Yeah.
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 It was, yeah.
You and me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the spreader of this disease, and you know, all of that mentality, us versus them, I think,
It be,
started.
and not so much even, because the porn, and you mentioned the porn industry, and they were under fire too.
Yeah.
That was HIV really did a number on the porn industry back then. But I think it was less of an us versus them and more of a me. I have got to protect myself and this thing that is mine. My family, my friends. It took us a while to come back together and start fighting. For a little while, each individual person, each individual rainbow pod, as it were, was, just struggling to survive, doing whatever. And then we had to learn to come back together, but we came back together in a whole different way.
Yeah.
One of the things that I had often wondered was when I would cover the segments at the Black Tie Dinner, and the HRC is there and everything. There would always be talk when we were fighting for marriage equality, and it seems like and I'm sure it's a very political thing, but it was more for like gay and lesbian rights, and then but they didn't want to like ask for transgender and everything rights at first. They just kind of wanted to do it in steps, and then the transgender community was against that. And so, I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, instead of going at once.
I think probably it probably happened the way it had to happen. It's one thing to be, a boy that likes other boys. People can kind of get that. But when you're trans, it's just so far beyond understanding for people that including the trans people in that fight probably was not the best thing. What's the word I'm looking for? Like to get the understanding and compassion from
You're
other
talking
people.
about a gradual process.
Yeah.
And I completely disagree. I feel like it's all for one for all. Like, I feel like I don't want to leave any of my brothers, sisters, gender neutral. I don't want to leave anybody behind.
That's the way it is now.
Yeah. Like,
I know what
don't
you were
wanna
saying.
leave-
I know what you're saying. It's like if we were going to make any progress whatsoever, we had to take what we could
Yeah,
get.
but even
Yeah.
then I didn't want
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Like even
but-
then I was fighting against
Yeah.
HRC because they didn't want to include the trans, just like they didn't want to include drag queens, just like they didn't want to have like the boys in underwear. Like that was always
That
my
was-
big thing. Like
That wasn't just HRC now.
Well, no,
yeah?
it
That's
was-
a segment of the community and
I guess I'm-
assimilationist.
that's what I'm talking
An
about.
assimila-
Like
but-
those,
Yeah.
the assimilationist, LGBTQ rainbow community. Like
Yes.
those, that is what I was always fighting against because I don't want to leave anybody. I never.
But you're
wanna
ahead
leave
of the
anybody
times.
behind.
But the thing that
She's
I am-
progressive.
I'm
Yeah,
very
you're progressive.
Yeah.
we have the situation that we have now. Is that because we were willing, or certain segments of our community were willing to say, well, we're going to come back. Let's get this now while we
get this
can,
now
and
while
we're
we
going to come
can,
back
we'll
and get
come
the
back.
trans people. We got the
You probably have a little
donation-
bit more pull now.
Well,
You know,
but
to
because
help.
why? It's just. I'm not going to
Well,
sit here
I
and tell
mean,
a transgender person how to live.
Well, yeah, but,
Be a transgender person,
I've
but-
said this before on Israel's show. Even in the gay community, there's such bias against,
there is.
Absolutely.
against trans
Yes, there
people
is.
that it's really sad. I mean, I can go
It's
to
horrifying to me.
I can go to a straight bar with my straight friends and have drinks, and no one says a
treated better
word.
than- Just
because
no
you're a
one
straight
says
woman.
anything. Nobody looks at me weird. Nobody misgenders me. I mean, what
Oh,
have
is
you?
that a word? Because I like that. Misgender.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they don't misgender me.
That could
yes.
be a
Ooh,
could be
I
a drag
And
name.
so,
Misgender.
that's misgender to you.
Exactly.
Hey,
So-
I missed that one. I should have said that.
But then as soon as I go to a gay bar, it's like, oh, hey, I remember you when before, or so how long have you been? Or it's like, seriously, you suck dick. You're a
the
homo,
opinions
and you
We're
should
gonna-
you should have a much better education than what you do
Do
right
you feel
now.
like they're coming towards you like in a very attackive
Oh,
way?
yeah.
Yeah. You
Well,
don't
a
feel
lot
like
of
it's
times,
coming from a place from understanding or trying.
It's in a place of, I
Oh,
know
okay.
you.
That's a whole different.
I know,
I know
who
your
you are.
story.
I know your story. I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're about.
I'll
Yeah.
spill
You
your
know,
tea.
I'm gonna spill your tea, and I get to do that because I'm gay and
Gay.
fabulous.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
you're a homo and you're horrible. That's what you are.
And it seems like there's a little jealousy there too, to where maybe you're talking to a hot guy that they were interested in.
Sometimes
and
it's possible, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you go to a straight bar. That makes sense to me because you're a straight woman.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I consider myself to be a heterosexual female.
Well, yeah.
A lot of
Right.
people would not.
Well, a lot of people are
And-
stupid.
But I mean, if you're gonna label me, I mean,
label
what-
her a whore.
Yeah, label me a whore.
That's how I label her.
Scarlet letter, I mean, if I'm gonna be labeled and you're gonna make me pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't pick gay. Gay guys don't want me. They like this.
Oh, I hope so.
And I don't like women. Sorry, so I'm not a
Yeah.
lesbian.
Yeah.
Right.
I like masculine men.
Absolutely.
I
I
like
mean,
a
and
little
that's,
sissy every now and then too.
I was reading something and I don't even remember where it was. They were talking about why it is. I mean, female to male trans men, transgender men, can seem to pass and just assimilate much more
because
easily.
testosterone is a very strong hormone.
Yeah, and it's
And they're
privilege. I
able
do
to
like it.
transition and be and assimilate to
Yeah.
meld in.
There's an actor in my film, Logan
Logan Wetzel.
Wetzel, who
Hi, Logan.
Hey, Logan.
Hi, Logan.
I
Don't know you.
mean,
Hi.
like
How you doing?
countrified, has a beard, talks like this, wears a John
Gimme,
Deere
yeah.
hat. That's who he is, and he's trans.
Sure.
Yeah.
But then they, but people can understand that the cisgender heterosexual, sequestered folks out there can understand that because that's going from a place of less privilege
to
to a
privilege.
place
They
of
understand
higher
the
privilege.
Exactly.
access.
And it's harder for them to understand why a man would be willing to give up some of that privilege.
Yep.
And that's why they go after trans women so much. And I don't understand it. I mean, I understand the whole privilege thing, because we all live with that.
I
but
think I get more pissed off that our own community does it than
Yeah.
I do. Like I
Oh,
kind of almost
yeah.
expect it from straight people because
Yeah,
we get like,
exactly.
and I'm talking non-allies and people who are uneducated.
Yeah.
But I get more pissed off at our own community because
yeah.
I mean we are all in this fucking thing together.
Yeah, and it's
Like,
unfortunate because there's so many times I've looked at my friends and go, and I'm just gonna be really honest. I say I don't want to go to the strip.
Yeah.
I don't want
And
to go to
that's
the
sad
strip
because
and
that's your
answer
home.
and
Like,
answer
that's-
questions all night long about whether I've had this or that done or where am I? Or,
Exactly.
are you performing? No, I'm just out having fun, you dick.
I'm
Like,
performing
I have to-
right now on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
bitch.
exactly. Like I don't want to. I just want to go have a drink and get drunk and play pool somewhere in some little shithole like little bar and just have fun.
Sure.
And I find that it's very easy for me to do that.
Well, if there's a silver lining to that, I would say it's because you are quite the presence in the community. A lot of people know who you are.
Yes.
So if you ever need attention, you're going to get attention because they
Yeah.
all know you and they
Yeah.
want to be a part of your life.
Exactly.
see, here's the thing,
And
you
I
can-
kind of realized that too. I mean, I started doing shows at JR's this past couple months with Crystal, and I've done shows off and on for years.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I get that. But when I want to be private and I want to go have a date with my boyfriend, which I have a new boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, she's taken now.
So when I want to go have privacy or stuff, I know not to go to the community.
Well,
and that's just the way that it is.
But
You
I
don't-
think that's the same for like a lot of people in the community. Like Candace, bartends at JR's, my wife. Like she doesn't want to go there because she doesn't want to be bothered. So you have to look
Exactly.
outside of the strip because she does get a lot of,
Sure.
that same.
But attention, yes, but then it goes
you get
beyond the
intrusive.
attention.
You get
It becomes
intrusive,
it
yeah.
becomes intrusive upon it not can
I
I
can't
have your
believe people
picture
do
or when you're doing a
that.
show? It's just this random gay guys will come up and ask me the most private questions
That's
you could
so-
ever
because they
imagine.
feel like they have that right.
They feel like they have that right.
See, that's the thing. You could go to any of the bars, any of the straight bars. You can pass,
Yes,
right,
of course.
and not have
I'm
to
very
worry about that.
Lucky like that. Yes.
There's some folks who can't, but nonetheless, you could pass. We know trans men who can pass, right? But you shouldn't have to. I should not have to pretend to be straight
Yeah.
to not be worried about getting the shit beat out of you.
Yeah.
Or, not being able to marry the person you love or not get benefits or not, be fired from your job. Or you shouldn't have
You shouldn't
to
have to. No.
freaking have to
It should be
pass.
a common courtesy.
You are who you are.
A common
and
courtesy. If Israel decided he wanted to come in a pair of heels and a wig, I'm like, well,
Girl.
that is.
I'm going to say, girl, those shoes do not fit you.
I'd be
You
like,
cannot walk in them, don't wear
That's
them.
a new look for you, but welcome.
Out of all your looks, Israel, that's one of them.
That's
Sure.
a definite. That's one of them for sure.
Up. Beep, beep, beep. We're out of time for this segment. We'll be back, so don't go anywhere.
You hear?
Y'all come back now. Okay, we're back, and I probably have my headphones on backwards just saying that.
You're gonna be hearing the left on the right and the
Yeah,
right.
it's gonna be all confused because I'm never confused otherwise. We had a message you said from Jessica who was
Yes.
commenting that, it's irritating for trans women or trans people in general, I guess, to go into some of the bars,
Yeah,
the
she
gay
said,
bars.
I get more crappy attitude from the LGBT community because I'm trans. They feel it's their business what's in your pants and do not understand boundaries or personal space.
I think I know why. It's just like, let's just say me being Mexican. It's like someone coming to me and like a white friend of mine that I really don't know too well, and they're like, "Oh, hey, what's up? Are you eating tamales today? Ha ha ha. Do you smell like enchiladas? Ha ha." And I'm thinking that yeah, we're a part of, we're in the same room at the same party, but you don't know me like that.
Yeah.
But they think that they have that right.
Yeah.
I think
I'm-
that's what it is.
And
with
I'm wondering
this.
too, because a lot of, gay and lesbians, like they feel like we're family, like, because we are a big
Right.
family.
We're
And so
supposed to
like
be.
maybe we're supposed to be a family. So maybe they feel, and I'm trying to give, certain people the benefit of the doubt. Like they feel like you're already their sister without
Right.
even meeting.
No.
But yeah,
No.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No, that's not it.
yeah,
They're just rude assholes
got it.
Yeah, I mean they are.
Yeah.
that really don't care to learn anything.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I totally can
actually, you
see
know
it,
what?
like, from-
There's a wonderful Calpurnia Adams several years ago did a video called 16 Things to Never Ask a Transgender Person.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I've
And
never
it
seen
is
that one.
fabulous. Please go
That's
look
on
it up.
YouTube, right?
It's on
Yeah.
YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
And it pretty much covers, just watch it.
Well, I have. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, first of all, hi, Deidre Fardresser. I love you. Okay. That was responding to a comment.
Gotcha.
I hope you're still watching.
Well, so there's this app that I don't know how it ended up on my phone called Grinder. I was really offended.
I put it there.
Okay.
I put it on there for
Okay,
you.
now I've solved the
I
mystery.
saw her do it.
So I opened it up to see what it's about. I didn't know. I thought
yeah.
it was like a mathematics app or
It
something.
was, yeah.
And
Sausage. It's about sausage.
It's about-
grinding sausage.
That
The
sounds
Illuminati.
about right. Yeah, Grinder sausage. And I saw a couple of trans women on there, and they were hitting on me. And I was like, well, I'm just going to be honest. And I said, I'm so sorry. I'm not interested because you are a woman,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
interested in boys.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering,
Well,
like,
but-
what
well,
would they would
well,
be
because,
on Grinder?
Well, possibly because aren't bisexual guys on Grinder?
I
That's
should
true.
hope so.
I
I'm
don't
a
know.
bisexual's dream, okay?
Right?
Yeah.
Like, think about it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I have women that hit on me constantly. Not constantly, but often.
Well, I'm
Often.
bisexual because if you buy me something, I'll
Right,
be
I'll get
sexual.
real sexual, yeah.
We all know that, Israel. I think that's like on every bathroom wall up and down the strip.
Right?
Israel Luna buy him something. So I was thinking about it. We have all the stuff that's going on, all of these people in high places that are making really bad decisions, and I was thinking, what we need is a new Illuminati. Okay, we need a new group, and I think
Hear
people.
her out, people. This is really good.
This
Describe
is-
what Illuminati is.
Okay,
again.
yeah, and people think of it in negative terms now. People think of the current connotation is that it's these shadowy people in the background, and they've got people
Like
here and there.
Beyonce with the triangles appearing
Yeah.
everywhere.
And they've got pulling the
Jay-Z.
strings and creating havoc for their own purposes. Historically, though, the Illuminati and historically, you're going to be talking probably about what they call the Bavarian Illuminati, and they were a group that were there. They were intellectuals, educated people who were there to. It was a secret society, but their whole idea was to oppose religious intrusion on public life. Like the church telling us, this is what my church thinks, so you have to do what I want. And that's one of the reasons the Catholic Church was so against them. And I think it was pressure from the Catholic Church that got the Bavarian government to shut them down. But it was about, superstition, not letting superstition rule people's lives, and religious extremism, things like that. So I think that's what we need today.
But don't we kind of have that with Anonymous?
We do, but what is their? I'm not really sure about their goals and
Their mantra.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what are
like
they after? I don't.
I watched
they
this
have no
really
allegiance
great-
to anyone.
Well, they don't. They have allegiance to the idea of freedom and freedom of speech, and like they went after the Scientologist. I mean, that was like the first major thing. There's a really great documentary on Netflix on them, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it. But they started off against Scientology because they really felt that it was a cult. So like they're kind of like maybe the modern version, I'm thinking, of the Illuminati, because they go against
Superstition.
the norm. No,
extremism.
like, well, things that are hidden, like the hidden like the things that the government hides from you that they don't want you to know. So they try to make all of that public to inform the public on what actually is going on.
And see,
behind the scenes, behind the
I'm not
curtain.
sure.
They want to show Oz. Like
I'm not sure that I think that that's really a great idea, because I
think
think
it's
there's
an
some things that
excellent
most people don't need to know about. There are military secrets that I don't want people to just be able to turn on the news and find, because that puts me at risk. Knowing things, telling people things just for the sake of telling people things, a lot of people are real damn stupid, and they're gonna misuse that.
Well,
That's my. I'm
I
not the
kind
one
of-
who gets to make that choice.
I kind of agree, because let's just say,
course
and
you
not
do.
with all of it, not
Yeah,
with
I
all
was
of it,
like, you're
I'm with
conservative.
you. I'm with you, but I'm just imagining. Let's just say there was proof that there was alien life
I
outside
want to
of-
know that.
See,
and
but-
that would shut
you
up all
can
of these
handle that.
Christians.
You
But
can
it would
handle
shut
it.
up all these
it
Christians that are
wouldn't.
like the
You can handle it.
dinosaurs didn't happen.
Right.
No,
Like
it
if
wouldn't.
you,
Well, we have
if you
proof
show
that we have
other-
proof that dinosaurs existed, and
And
look,
ain't gonna shut them
but
up.
there's so many people that
I know, but
still
then they
don't
could
believe
stop
it.
being like, this is the only planet,
It's
and
not
then
gonna
you know.
stop 'em.
No,
It's
they
not gonna
wouldn't.
You think
stop
it's
'em.
gonna stop
Right,
them?
what
We
I
have
think-
dinosaurs
Hell
in
no.
museums right now, and
It's
they're
gonna
only
start
6,000 years old.
It's
You
gonna
know, they're
Right.
6,000
Humans,
years old,
okay,
girl.
I get
And,
it.
and you know, Fred
Lived along with
Flintstone
dinosaurs.
rode the dinosaur to work.
Yeah.
It is not going to make them stop.
It's
shut
not gonna
up
make 'em
and
stop.
be not stupid.
I honestly think it
Maybe
would
I
cause
have a little
chaos.
bit more faith in humanity. Like I
don't.
would hope.
You have a
that
lot
it
of faith in
would-
you,
Girl.
apparently.
Give it a few years; it'll wear off.
Randy, run my studio for a week, and you will not give anyone a benefit of anything. You'll be like, everyone's an idiot.
I try to see things from all sides. I'm just saying, I think if we had information, then we would be able to better understand things. Like I would hope that people would be up for learning new things and educating themselves on things that they don't
You
know
would
about.
hope.
You would hope,
You would
yeah.
hope.
I mean,
Right.
I'm with you. The reality is that's
Not
not,
the
the
case.
case.
Some may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one.
As long as everybody brings their own lunch.
And their own wine and liquor.
Yeah, yeah. But see, we're out of time already. We are down to 20 seconds.
Oh wow.
So we're gonna have to. This is like the last one right before the
The
end, right?
closing, yeah.
So, thank you guys for watching today.
Yes,
We're
thank
gonna
you guys. Great
take the
comments.
last couple of minutes and just wind up. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for commenting. Come back next week and watch us and comment again. If you got ideas, something you want to, you think
Here's-
we need to talk about, hey, send us a message. You
about.
can email me,
Argue about.
nash@dallasvoice.com. Are you just talking?
No, I was just saying if they have things that, they want to argue, have us
Yeah.
argue about, debate,
Sorry, I had a parent moment.
dialogue. I know, I was like,
Are you
I
interrupting me?
tensed up.
Funny.
Seriously, if you have something you want to talk, you think we need to talk about, let us know. I mean, because obviously we'll talk about anything that gets our attention. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back to wrap it up. Thanks.
That was so much fun.
Okay, we're back. We've got 2 minutes to wrap things up. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask everybody here to just kind of give us a wrap up of what you're doing and where we can find you and what we need to know about you, Israel Luna.
Excellent. Everyone come out August 28th at 7:30 at the Texas Theater to screen my already controversial film, Kicking Zombie Ass for Jesus.
Yes. Tell us about it.
My next project is going to be called Beaver.
Ah!
And it is a short film project
love
that
that one.
is all transgender and drag queens and males only. So that's going to be shot at the end of September.
Yes.
And we'll be on location for about 4 or 5 days for that.
That's
I'm excited
excellent.
about that.
Don't go to Graham.
Yeah, don't go to
Yeah.
Graham. Other than that, you can find me on Instagram and on Facebook at Chaselyn Wade.
Are you still doing the shows now?
I am, yes. Tuesdays, I do about 2 Tuesdays a month at JR's for Crystal's show.
I'm gonna come out and see you. I've never seen you perform.
For Crystal's
Yeah.
show, Girls Like Us, which is an all-transgender showcast.
Oh,
that.
excellent. Excellent. I don't
first
think
time-
I knew that.
Yeah, it's on Tuesdays,
excellent.
and I'm a rotating cast member. And I haven't been a cast member anywhere for probably 10 years at least. So
Wow, cool.
It's exciting for me to
That's cool.
be able to express myself with music
Yeah.
and dancing and costuming and
Get that
and-
coins,
and
girl.
get those
your
coins. Come on out and
Yes.
see me.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Chaselyn is an excellent hairdresser. I know this because
Thank
she
you.
cut my hair
Yes,
on the
I did.
set of TikTok
Yes, I
trannies with
did.
knives
Yes,
one day.
I did.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
I did.
Gave me a haircut.
Yep.
Oh, no
I sure
shit.
did.
She's like, girl, your hair's ratchet. Sit down.
I said, girl, what's going on? Fix that.
I said, I know I need a
Maybe
haircut.
that'll
She
be
said,
like
sit
a good
down.
live segment to have
Right.
her come in and cut my hair. Do like little hair Dallas
During the
Boy
show.
show.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Brandy. Tell
I'm
us.
Brandy Amar Sky. You can find me at brandyamarsky.com, and I like to piss people off, and that's it.
That's good. And talk over other people when they're talking.
I like to have Tammy get mommy moments.
And I'm Tammy Nash. I'm the managing editor. Like I said, if you've got a topic, send it to me. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me at nash@dallasvoice.com. And thank y'all for being here. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.